Hey all you super players out there, Ben Lotus aka 5 Buck Lunch, coming at you with a video today. Today we're going to talk about the set 10 super rares that I think are the ones you're going to want to get right away. Cards that are either going to go up in value or stay at the high value they're at. Things you want to trade for as the set gets released tomorrow, I believe, as a pre-release. So these are the cards you're going to want to trade for if you're going to want to use them in the set. Obviously, pretty much for main Dragon Ball sets, card prices tend to dip a little bit in the first couple weeks. So if you want to wait and see if they go down a few dollars, you can. But if you want to play right away, these are the cards you want to trade for and you want to get your hands on. So first of all, we have Mecha Plotting Revival. This is arguably the best Unison card in the game, and it's going to be very good. Possibly played in both the Shenron deck and the mono yellow decks as well. We'll have to see whether it fits in the mono yellow decks. But it's extremely powerful with its ability to distill your opponent's battle cards. It's got blocker, and then whenever it takes a damage, it taps one of your opponent's battle cards. I'm sorry, not battle cards, cards. So the ability to tap leaders and energy and stuff is obviously very good. It's just a very, very good card. Next up, we have Zeno Unison. This is one that I think is going to be overvalued at the beginning, but if you want to play that mono blue ramp deck like Zamasu or try and throw it in one of the untapped Q decks or something, try and trade for it right away because it's probably going to stay up there for a little bit first. It's just a ramp card, basically. It allows you to ramp faster in mono blue. Vegeto Unison of Might. I think that since the best aggro decks are now going to be red decks, some of the red deck cards are going to be worth more than they previously were going to be worth. And Vegeto Unison of Might is a very good top-end card for aggro decks, like to drop on turn 4, because it allows them to stall out the game and finish off control decks with the -2, which until the end of your opponent's next turn, if your opponent would play a battle card using a skill, it's placed in their drop area instead. So that's going to be really good against Mecha, against the Frieza that's bringing in guys from the drop. It basically just stops your opponent from using any tricks or shenanigans to put in play battle cards and allows you to finish them off. Frieza, Charismatic Villain, as well as, to a lesser extent, the other counterplay, free counterplay if you have a Unison in play cards. Frieza is the best one, but there are several other that are also good. And these cards are just going to be used a lot in general, so getting them right away isn't a terrible idea. And the better ones, the blue and green ones specifically, are probably going to stay pretty up there in price, just because of how ubiquitous their use is going to be. They're just really good cards, and they're going to be played a lot, especially with how much Unisons we're about to see. Lastly, Mecha the Broken Seal. I think this card's going to keep its value just because it's kind of can be played in almost any deck, in the side specifically. It's just really good against any deck that revolves around battle cards. You can drop it on turn 2 against Invoker and call Vegeta, so they can't play Vegeta next turn, throws them off a whole turn. You can play it against like older style decks that are playing things like Liqueur. You can call Liqueur on 2, and now they're stalled out for a turn. It just has so many uses, and a 2-drop 15k isn't even that bad either. So like, it's just going to be used a lot in side decks, if not used in some main decks. The card that I think is going to trend down a lot is Dora Potential Unleashed. So this card has a really high price memory, which is basically means people have been valuing it very high because it was green's counter to Vegex and go wide decks in general. But with the bannings of Vegex and Vegex being turned into more of a mid-range deck, now it's more of an aggro deck, this card doesn't have as much use. Now, don't get me wrong, it will still be played. It's still a solid card. But the fact that you can't just use it for 1 and negate an attack makes it kind of worse than Nimbus. Even though, I mean, in Nimbus, you can potentially get 2 more attacks where this hard locks them to 1. I still think that it's going to be played less than people think it's going to be in this next format specifically, which means it's probably not going to hold value. It's going to go down to, like, I think right now it's valued at like 15 to 20, and it's probably going to end up around an $8 card. Now, keep in mind in the future with this card specifically, if we get more aggro decks, this card will go up in price. So with this card, I recommend not grabbing it right away, but getting it probably in a couple weeks when the price goes down a little bit before it jumps again. And the kind of hidden gem that isn't really worth that much now, but I think is just a really good card, is Shenron Unison of Rescue. So this card adds basically extra draw power to black decks, which either didn't have much draw power, or Kid Ku has draw power and can always just use more. It also has a built-in way to play battle cards for free, a way to protect itself, and a win condition card if you're playing a deck with a bunch of vanillas in it, where you can just play a bunch of skillless battle cards and try to kill your opponent. Just has a lot of things packed into one. Also, it can be played on turn 1, which is only one other unison, I think, that can do that. And it just makes it a very, very powerful card, and I think something that will see a decent amount of play and isn't really respected yet, even outside of Kid Coot decks. So yeah, is there any cards I missed that you think are going to be good pickups right away? A lot of the cards in this set are, super rares in this set are really weird. There's a lot of like, the super rares are more like they help decks out rather than like form whole decks around them, which is very different from what we've kind of had in the past. It makes it kind of interesting and hard to evaluate because support cards like that, like they usually either are played or aren't. It's not like it's something that's like put in as a 1 or 2 of, where it's something that like you either will play it or you won't, and that'll kind of end up reflecting in the prices. I think the supers for this set are either going to be up there or really cheap, but we'll see. Yeah, so good luck everybody with your polls tomorrow. If you're getting your side for not getting it till this weekend or next week, you know, good luck then. Please like, subscribe down below, go out there, play some super, and have some fun.